Hagia Sophia does not begin with a wall, a ruler, or a date. It begins with a question that still feels impossible. How can stone be made to look as if it is floating? For almost 15 centuries, its great dome has hovered above the city now called Istanbul, surviving earthquakes, conquest, conversion, repair, and the dangerous ambition of its own design. Its beauty is famous. But beauty is not the deepest mystery here. The real miracle is that this building is still standing. Inside, light is not decoration. It becomes a tool, cutting through masonry, hiding weight, and turning engineering into illusion. The dome seems to rest on nothing. No forest of columns, no visible mountain of stone, just air, shadow, and a circle of light. To understand that illusion, we have to return to Constantinople in 532, when the city was not calm or eternal. It was wounded by fire. The previous church had been destroyed during the Nika riots. For Emperor Justinian, the ruins became an opportunity to rebuild power itself in stone. This was not meant to be only a church. It was meant to be the spiritual engine of an empire, a monument that would make Rome, Persia, and every future age look upward. Justinian turned to two extraordinary minds, Anthemius of Tralles and Isidore of Miletus. Men remembered not simply as builders, but as masters of geometry, mechanics, and proportion. Their challenge was brutal. How do you set a circular dome above a square space without forcing the walls to split apart? A dome is never passive. It presses downward, but it also thrusts outward, spreading its force like a wave through stone. At Hagia Sophia, that force had to be guided through a chain of pendentives, arches, half-domes, piers, and later reinforcements, a system built to make pressure disappear from the eye. The secret begins at the corners, where four curved triangular surfaces turn a square room into a circular sky. These are pendentives, the architectural bridge between the earthly square below and the heavenly circle above. Without them, the interior would have needed heavier supports. With them, the center could remain open, vast, and almost terrifyingly empty. But pendentives alone could not save the dream. The dome had to be made lighter, the supports had to be stronger, and the light had to distract the eye from the struggle. Brick became more than material. It became strategy, lighter than solid stone, carefully bonded, and arranged to reduce weight above the void. Above the nave, 40 windows cut into the base of the dome, forming a luminous ring around the structure's most dangerous point. Structurally, the openings reduced mass. Visually, they did something even more powerful. They erased the boundary between roof and air. To a 6th century worshipper standing below, the dome did not seem engineered. It seemed suspended by heaven. The 6th century writer Procopius captured the effect with a famous image. The dome seemed to hang from heaven by a golden chain. That phrase endures because it reveals Hagia Sophia's central trick. The building does not remove weight. It hides the labor of carrying it. Behind the illusion are 4 enormous piers, buried in the visual drama like silent mountains. The weight falls from the dome, slides through the curved pendentives, passes into the great arches, and descends through massive piers into the ground. But the dome also pushes sideways. And to resist that, the building needed a second language, the language of arches. Great arches stretch north, south, east, and west, turning the dome's pressure into a controlled conversation between stone and space. On the east and west, half-domes extend the nave and help carry the eye outward. They do not merely decorate the interior. They shape the building into a cascade of forces, each curve answering the one above it. Hagia Sophia is not a dome placed on a box. It is an entire conversation between domes, arches, piers, walls, and resistance. And yet, even this brilliant system was vulnerable. The ground beneath Constantinople did not care about imperial vision. In 558, after earlier earthquake damage, part of the Great Dome collapsed, a warning that the miracle had been built too close to the edge. But the answer was not abandonment. It was correction, rebuilding, and a deeper understanding of what the structure demanded. Isidore the Younger, nephew of one of the original designers, rebuilt the dome higher and adjusted its curve, giving the building a better chance to survive. This is one of Hagia Sophia's deepest lessons. Endurance was not one perfect moment of genius, but a chain of repairs across centuries. The building survived because generation after generation chose to answer its weaknesses instead of walking away. From outside, Hagia Sophia reveals what the interior conceals: weight, reinforcement, pressure, and compromise. The floating dome is supported by a body that is heavy, muscular, and constantly braced against collapse. The unforgettable tension is this: the inside feels weightless, while the outside shows a body built like a fortress against collapse. It is a building that asks the eye to believe in one thing, while the structure works brutally to make that belief possible. Behind the monument was a human machine: workers, brickmakers, stonecutters, marble carvers, engineers, and mosaic artists turning imperial command into matter. Materials arrived from across the empire, carried by ship, cart, hand, and ambition. Marble transformed the interior into a map of reach and power: green, purple, white, gray, and deep-veined stone catching the sacred light. Some columns and materials came from earlier monuments, giving the new church the memory of older sacred and civic worlds. The result was more than construction. It was imperial theater, a space designed to make every visitor feel the scale of Constantinople's power. Yet the greatest ornament was not marble, gold, or mosaic. It was space. A person entering Hagia Sophia would be swallowed by height, pulled upward by light, and held in silence by scale. That is why the building keeps the eye moving. Every shadow promises a support. Every beam of light hides a secret. Every angle reveals another layer: a concealed pier, a vanishing curve, a window that makes architecture feel like theology. The dome was not just roof. It was symbol, the heavens made visible inside the capital of an empire. For the Byzantine world, architecture and faith were not separate languages. Geometry could become prayer. Light could become doctrine. That is why Hagia Sophia's engineering feels almost spiritual. It does not explain itself at once. It asks you to keep looking. And the longer you look, the more you see that the miracle is not weightlessness. It is controlled weight. The dome survives because its forces are guided, divided, absorbed, and answered. That delicate answer had to be repeated after every tremor, every crack, every century of repair. Earthquakes struck. Empires changed. Constantinople became Istanbul. Yet the dome remained the central question above the city. In 1453, Constantinople fell to the Ottomans, and Hagia Sophia entered another life without losing its architectural power. Its sacred function changed, but the force of the space remained unmistakable. Ottoman architects studied it, repaired it, strengthened it, and measured their own domes against its impossible presence. Later Ottoman tradition places Mimar Sinan among those who understood the building's danger and its genius. Hagia Sophia was both inspiration and warning. To build beneath a dome is to negotiate with gravity. Hagia Sophia made that negotiation visible to every generation that followed. Its influence spread because it was not easy to copy. It spread because every great dome after it had to answer its challenge. Even today, standing inside Hagia Sophia means standing inside a solved problem that still feels unsolved. Your eyes say the dome floats. Your mind knows it cannot. That contradiction is why Hagia Sophia has never become ordinary. It is not a perfect monument sealed in time. It is repaired, braced, scarred, altered, and alive with the evidence of survival. Those scars make the achievement greater because they prove the building has endured the very forces it was designed to resist. The dome is not a frozen miracle. It is an ancient argument still being won. And perhaps that is the real secret. Hagia Sophia does not defeat gravity by denying it. It defeats gravity by understanding it. Every brick, every arch, every hidden support participates in the illusion. What looks like divine suspension is one of history's great collaborations between mathematics, material, faith, labor, and imperial will. For 1,500 years, the building has asked everyone who enters the same question: what kind of civilization dares to make the impossible visible? And beneath the luminous dome, Hagia Sophia still answers in silence. Stone can rise, light can carry meaning, and architecture can reach toward heaven without leaving the earth.